All right, quick thoughts on UFC 311 today. Just one thing I was seeing a lot of people talk about Merab being a boring fighter, and Umar is going to be able to outwork his wrestling and also mix in the striking. Cool. Here's one thing I think people don't understand about Merab that I think is super dope and why he's so high level. Is because people know he uses his cardio, right? But people don't understand how much of a gift and how intelligent it is to weaponize cardio, right? So there's a lot of people with different skills, like natural abilities in the UFC. And there's some things that you just come from training, right? Like wrestling isn't a natural ability. It's just, you've trained for a long time, right? So the Dagestanis that come from wrestling, they wrestle a lot because they've been training it a lot. They're better than everybody at it. So they just weaponize their grappling skills, right? Somebody like Alex Pereira has natural power, so he weaponizes his ability to knock people out. Same with Sean O'Malley. I don't necessarily know if O'Malley is so much power or if he just really good precision and timing, which also comes from training, but he kind of had a natural aptitude for that because basketball, he has good motion, movements, things like that, right? So you're not going to see O'Malley jump guillotine, you're not going to see Pereira shoot takedowns, and you don't see the Dagestanis just trying to bang it out, knock people out. It's not in their natural skill set, it's natural ability, it's not really in their wheelhouse, right? Merab doesn't have any much natural power or springiness. He's a great wrestler, not the best submission threat. He's little, his limbs are little, it'd be hard for him to catch certain submissions, but he was born with an incredible ability to, to maximize his gas tank, right? So that's what he uses. He doesn't just have cardio, he weaponizes it. He actually turns it into a weapon by using his grappling. So it's good that he paired that up. It'd be a lot harder to do it as a striker, but as a grappler, you can wear on people, especially people who aren't grapplers, and use your advanced cardio, blah, 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 blah. Now, Khabib, you could also say Khabib was doing this too. Nobody ever really talked about Khabib's cardio. I don't know why, but he also probably had similar cardio, if I'm not mistaken, when he grappled. But I guess because Merab loses position and then goes for position again, it appears as though he has better cardio. A lot of people, if they were to lose position, especially grappling and wrestling positions, it would take them a minute to reset and go for it again. But people like Hamzat or Khabib, they don't really lose position. They kind of keep it, Bilal. So I think that's why Merab gets the nod for his cardio so much. And he was very smart in the Yan fight. I don't think the Yan fight was boring at all. I think Aldo was boring. I didn't like that fight, but a lot of Merab's fight, if we really enjoy MMA, I don't think they're boring at all. I think he fights very clever. I think he's gotten even more clever. The Henry Cejudo fight, not boring at all. But of course, Yan is his best fight, right? Like his best performance, right? So he intentionally shoots a lot of shots to not take you down, right? Because if he takes you down, he has to get a position, has to hold, he has to scramble, and then he's using energy. But if he grabs a leg, throws, pushes you off, especially the way Yan was fighting, you get into a very defensive, tense kind of motion and trying to scramble, and you use all this energy while he's just grabbing a leg, throwing, whatever, moving you, giving you the look like he's about to try to take you down hard. You spaz, lose position, go for the takedown defense, and now you're out of position, and now he just backs up and goes again. I think that's very smart. It gives us full fights, long fight. I know knockouts are great too. Everybody loves knockouts, but there's a lot of fights. Maybe it's just me where I want to see fights go longer. Like Alex versus Yuri 1, I wanted to see that go longer. What's another fight? I don't know. Izzy versus Duplessis, I wanted to see that go to. I wanted Izzy to win, so that's not the same thing. But sometimes there's knockouts, and I'm like, cool, dope. But I kind of want to see how the fight plays out over a long period of time. I know that doesn't always work. It's not always fun to see that, like the Bilal Muhammad Leon Edwards fight could have used a knockout or something. But that's besides the point. Anyway, I say that to say I think Merab has all the skills. I don't think Umar is so far ahead of him in the striking like people say that he's just going to completely outclass him on the feet. Granted, if it was a kickboxing match, yes. But Umar is good with those kicks, right? He likes that front kick to the face, push, smack you in the face, jab, punch kick, that front, question mark kind of kick. And he's good with his hands. He has good distance management, good movement. Merab has good movement. He just has terrible distance management, right? So he throws that, spinning back kick, like a spinning kick. What would it be? A spinning round? Whatever it's called. Spinning. When he turns all the way around and does a spinning kick and he misses every single time. I don't know why he throws that. I don't think he's ever going to hit it. I don't even know if he trains to actually hit that kick, but he likes to throw that. He has good movement. He's not flat-footed. He bounces a lot. He moves his hands a lot. He peppers out his jab a lot. So he has good movement. So I think he'll be able to keep distance and range away from Umar, especially spending a whole training camp learning how to do it from O'Malley, who I think is a trickier matchup for Merab. Has much more range. It's probably slicker than Umar with the hands for sure. Plus has a teep. If Merab can work a whole camp to keep his distance from him, I think he'll be able to do it from keep his distance from Umar. I just hope Merab is working on his boxing. I think Merab should focus on his boxing. I think he should damn near approach every fight the way Bilal Muhammad approached the Leon Edwards fight. I think he should just keep his hands up. He said he's spending time in Mexico boxing. Go back. I think he should keep his hands up. Move into people's chests. Head movement. Keep that bounce. Head movement. Pop, pop, pop. Go for the grappling. Go for body locks. Since you're a judo champion, sambo, like his clinch should be amazing. I think that's one thing people ignore. Not that Merab has crazy clinch, but I think a lot of fighters ignore masculine, like an incredible clinch game. And then just go for the legs and just exhaust him. It's gonna take a while to exhaust him, but I think in the 4th round he could, right? So the way I see a lot of fighters is you get gassed, start to get tired in the 3rd, but I noticed like a second win, like in the 4th of championship rounds. But I think Merab's best rounds are gonna be the 1st round. Well, no, how does he normally do in the 1st round? He beat O'Malley, he beat Yan, he lost to Cejudo. Yeah, maybe the 1st round, the 4th round, and the 5th round. I think those are going to be Merab's best opportunities to win. I think coming out quick, well, maybe not. 1st is going to be hard though. Like that's the most trickiest one, right? Because I think, but what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to come out, shoot, grapple immediately, and just use like a hella cardio and just try to overwhelm Umar, which is going to be hard because Umar's going to be dry. He's going to be thinking about grappling and kicking, and he's going to have a lot of power. But I think he like needs to get that 1st round because you don't often take rounds off of these Islams, off these Hamzats, off these. I mean, they don't often lose 1st rounds. Aljo got one off of Evloev the 1st round, which was like nice. But you don't often get the 1st rounds off of them, man. And if you don't take a round, they just build momentum, you know? So you have to get that 1st round, have to put them in panic mode. I think Umar is definitely going to make some adjustments. He's going to be smart. And the crazy thing, I'm going to be interested to see Khabib's his corner work, because normally what they always say is wrestle, 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 wrestle. Every fight, no matter what. If you can be able to defeat, wrestle. If you're wrestling and it's working, wrestle. It's wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. He's not going to tell Umar to go wrestle Merab. It's not going to work. Khabib is actually going to have to tell Umar strike, and I don't think we've ever heard him say that in the corner. That's going to be very interesting. The thing is, when you strike, it's obviously the kicks are going to open him up to Merab, taking him down, whatever, tripping him, whatever. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Merab has the best chance of beating Umar in the division. I think he's a better grappler. He's going to be a better grappler with sambo, judo, and like his jiu-jitsu, wrestling training with Aljo and Sarah, Matt Serra and Ray Longo and all of them. I mean, I know he's with John Wood now. Is it John Wood? I think is it John? Whatever. Whatever his first name is. Wood, Coach Wood, Raunchy's coach. I know he's over there now, but he's spent a lot of time with over in Aljo's camp. It's unfortunately those guys don't build up the best hands over there. But if he just comes in with a strong enough game plan, keeps his hands up, doesn't get clipped. I thought he was gonna get clipped against O'Malley, bro, but if he just doesn't get clipped, keeps his hands up, moves forward the entire time and just wrestles and just wears on him, and take that 1st round off to bank you around, like make it convincing, bank you around, and then just do so much work that the 4th and 5th round, Umar's just gassed. I think he could take it. It's gonna be a close fight. I think this is gonna be a 4-1 with some close rounds, or a 3-2 fight for sure. Not a split decision. I think it'll be unanimous either way. But yeah, so that's just one thing I want to talk about. 1, Khabib's gonna have to finally tell a fighter to strike and not wrestle, which is gonna be interesting. And 2, Merab choosing to weaponize cardio, like turn it into a weapon, I think is underrated, overlooked, and underappreciated. When he could just be he's a well-rounded fighter, but I mean he could just choose to just fight, anywhere. Like Gaethje has wrestling, but he just chooses to strike. Merab chooses to turn his cardio into a weapon. If you have it, use it. Like, obviously, if I have cardio, I'm going to try to. I know he has a bunch of people trashing him for decisions, but you got to understand, if I don't naturally have knockout power, I just don't have really the limbs for like crazy jujitsu stuff. Not saying he couldn't, but like his limbs are short. Like when you see him jump guillotine, like his legs don't even go around the person's back. When he did it against O'Malley, and I think he did it against Cejudo, like his limbs are really tiny, bro. Like he can't really wrap things up. Rear naked will be probably his best bet. I mean he could do wrist Kimuras and stuff like that, but you know, he has really short limbs, you know, and all that. Doesn't have any natural like that. But I have a gas tank. Of course, I'm gonna want my fights to go 25 minutes, and obviously I'm gonna have a lot of decisions. Are they unanimous decisions or are they split decisions? You know what I'm saying? Are they 29-28s? Are they 50-45s? Like that's important too. You know, like just because it's unanimous decisions doesn't mean they're boring. Doesn't mean I'm fighting bad. It just means I'm wearing them out and I'm beating them up. You know. I mean, finishes are exciting too, obviously, and I think there's room for him to improve his jiu-jitsu to get that. But I don't know. I just think a little underappreciated what he does with his cardio. But that's my thoughts. I'm gonna go with Merab. A lot of people aren't going with Merab. I'm gonna throw some money down on Merab. I think he got this. I want him to win. And yeah, that's all I got. Maybe I'll say a couple words on the main event, but I don't know. All right, peace.